from Creative Housewives, and I am here today to teach you how to use your Cricut machine to make felt pennant flags. They're really cute, super fast, and the best news is you can use any Cricut machine to make them. Keep watching to learn how. Show you how I did it. I already have everything already designed. It's actually really simple. I started with a project, so if you just go to projects and search pennant, they actually have a felt pennant here. So you can see, if we click on it, you can see that it's all felt. It has the felt end and then the felt letters and just the little everything. So basically I'm just using this triangular part, and I did keep this end piece here, and I'll show you how I changed that for my project. But if we come back over here to the canvas, then you can see that we have that pennant part, but I changed this back piece to a solid piece that's a little bit thicker because I want it to be able to wrap around, not right there, a little bit farther out. I want it to wrap around the back of my triangular pennant piece so that it has the black on both sides, because I'm going to be adding like a little dowel skewer, whatever you want to call it, just a little piece in there to use as part of a centerpiece. So the triangle is the same size. I didn't adjust anything. I made this piece here thicker. And I did add, if you look over here in the layers panel, you can see that I added a score line. You can do that by just coming here to shapes. And then this piece here, this little thing that's free, that is the score line. So I just added that, made it the same length or height as my little black end piece here, and then centered it onto that piece. So the felt that I'm using is a stiff felt, and so that will allow it to run a score line down the middle that I'm hoping will help it just kind of fold there easily, making it easier for me to glue my ends onto the felt. And then this I think is really cute. This is the font BFC Retro Cookie, and it's a Cricut Access font. It's really cute, I think. It was just that really cute, fun look. I thought it was great. And so what I did was I just, as you can see here in my layers panel, each letter is its own little piece. I did that so that I had the ability to be able to resize each letter and make it so it fits, bigger letters here, and then they move smaller as you come down to the point of the flag. So that's how I did that, really easy. I'm going to cut the black out of the felt, the red out of the felt, and then the white I'm actually going to use iron-on, just white iron-on that I have. So I'm using a Maker 3. We're going to go ahead and select Make It. And then from here, I'm going to say that I'm using on the mat. Go ahead and select Continue. And then I have these pieces here. Again, they both fit on one sheet or one mat. And as I said, I'm going to cut those out of iron-on. So I'm going to go ahead and mirror that. And then this piece here, the black mat, is felt. I don't have to do anything with that one. Now here for my flag, I put these flags on individual mats, and I am pretty sure they will fit on one mat. So in case you missed how I did that, if you click on these three dots, you can see Move Object or Hide Object. I selected Move Object, and I moved it to the other mat. So now I can just select this, slide it down. We're just going to slide it down a little, and then I'm going to rotate it because it should fit. Ooh, that rotated fast. Yeah, see, it fits with like room to spare. Keep going. Apparently I rotated too far. There we go. So just keep it right there. So I actually have still, I could move it that far apart. So that's going to work just great. I can put both of those onto one mat also. So we can go ahead and select Continue. It's going to connect to my machine. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to select Browse All Materials. And I'm going to type in felt. And then so this felt here has the Cricut symbol next to it. My felt is, I feel like, just like a half a touch thicker than that. But let's see. I want to check really quick first. If I do the felt stiff, so that calls for the deep point blade. I'm not like against using the deep point blade, but I know that I have cut this exact felt with the fine point blade before. So I'm just going to do felt again, and I'll just go ahead and select that Cricut one, because Cricut felt is also a little bit stiffer because it, without being backed, it can be cut on the Explorer and Maker, or the Explorer 3 machines, any of those machines, with the fine point blade. So you can see here, it says fine point blade. We'll use the fine point blade for all of these different materials. And so let's jump over to the machine and we will get this cutting. Okay, so I've got my Maker 3 with the fine point blade. I have my felt here on my pink fabric grip mat, and we'll just go ahead and let these all get cutting. Okay, so before I go ahead and unload my mat, I just am going to check that cut so you can see that cut like beautifully. And this is just like really inexpensive Hobby Lobby felt, so super easy to cut with your machine. So now let's switch over and we will cut out those black pieces. So to do that, I do need to switch over and use my scoring wheel. I need to get my scoring wheel out. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that here and we'll get that cut. Now that we have everything cut out, I've got my iron-on weeded. So I have this ready, I have my pennant pieces, I have my other little pennant pieces, and I would like to show you, if you can see, I'm not sure how easy that's gonna be able to see, but the score lines actually worked great with this to be able to have it folded. It folds right along the line. So I'm going to use my Easy Press mat. I'm using the 12 by 12, and I'm using just my cute little Easy Press Mini. And the heat guide says for the Easy Press Mini with felt that you want to use a on the low setting for about 30 seconds. So I'm just gonna go ahead and preheat the whole thing, just like we always do when it comes to using iron-on. So I got the whole thing preheated, and then I wanna take this piece and I wanna move it kind of as close to the end here as I can, so that I have that room that we talked about on this end for folding over the end little pennant piece, like the tie portion of it that's gonna go around my little skewer. So I've got this all set on. So I'm just going to take my mini and I'm just going to go ahead and move this along, keep moving it continually. With the mini, it's different than the other Easy Presses. You just move it continually over your whole surface until everything's been hit for about 30 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to move my Easy Press mat out from underneath and let this, it says to let it, to slowly peel back the liner when it feels cool to the touch. Because of selecting felt, it does not say to press it from the back. So we're just gonna go ahead and slowly peel this back. See if it's sticking everywhere. Looks like it's trying to lift just a little bit right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and press that section again. With using the Easy Press Mini, especially with something that's this much bigger than the heat plate of the Easy Press Mini itself, you do run the risk of like maybe not hitting some areas for the full amount of time. So this area is all cool. So I'm just gonna go nice and slow, making sure I'm not pulling up any of my iron-on anywhere. And we've got our first one done. We'll go ahead and do the second one. All right, we have everything ready. I have my 2 little cute pennants. They turned out really cute. I have my black pieces. I'm just using these little skewers, really inexpensive, like $3 for 100 of them. I have my hot glue gun, and we're gonna go ahead for everybody's favorite part, the assembly. So I'm just going to go right along the back end of this piece of felt. I'm just gonna run some hot glue down it, and then I've gotta line it up so that I'm making sure that when this folds over, it doesn't go onto the 6. So that's good. But I wanna make sure I have it over the same amount, and then I'm just gonna press it down really well, make sure that it's stuck on there really well. And now the next step is going to be deciding how high up this bend here that I want my dowel to go. So if you can see, like, if I want them to be the exact same height, then I need to put them at the same height. But I want them, if I'm gonna use them for like a centerpiece or something like that, I want them to be not exactly the same height. So I think I'm gonna put this one about, you know, like this far down. So again, I'm just gonna run a little hot glue down here, and I'm just going to lay my dowel right on top of it. Just give it a little bit of pressure. So we've got that stuck down. Now what I can do is I can come along this side here, because I want this side to stick down really well. I want it to stick to the black here, I want it to stick to the dowel, and I want it to stick along my edge of my actual flag part of the pennant. So I'm just gonna not be crazy heavy-handed, but just a little heavy with it there. I'm gonna have to wipe that off. Got a little glue on the back. I'm not even sure how that happened. But we'll just press it down all the way around. Scrape off that little bit of glue that got there. And just that simple, we have our first pennant done. And now we can move on to our second one. And the assembly is going to be the same. I'm just going to make it so that instead of my dowel being this long, I'm gonna put it down a little bit farther. So it'll be about this long, and then it'll be taller, so that when I put them together, it'll be a little bit taller. All right, what did you think? I was right, super easy, right? All you need are just a few supplies. I'm using this stiff, it's just from like Hobby Lobby, stiff fabric, or not fabric, stiff felt, and it was able to be cut with the fine point blade, which means you can use any Cricut machine to make it. I was able to cut both of them out of just one 12 by 12 piece of felt. I used white iron-on to do the letters, which made it super simple. I used the Easy Press Mini, again, really inexpensive project to make. Honestly, with how fast this project went together, I don't think I could have gone to the store and bought these in as fast as I was able to make them. They're really easy, really cute, really fun. Now, if you did want to try to make this same project out of a different type of felt, like maybe felt that's like a little flimsier, I would suggest like that you would want to bond it first, put some sort of backing on it to help it hold its shape. You wouldn't want them just to fall. Now, if you were putting them like flat on a wall, I think you could use probably any type of fabric or anything that you wanted to do. I used felt. You could definitely do this same project using cardstock. I'm trying to think of what else might work. Even like a poster board, anything like that you could do. And I kept them really simple, but these would be really fun to just add more things to. Like if you wanted to double side them, you could add some like pom-poms or rickrack along the edges. You could add some ribbon hanging down from the, you know, the bottom of the flag. There's lots of different things that you can do. And of course, I did these for back to school, but you could really customize this for any type of party you have coming up. I think they'll be really cute, like sitting as a centerpiece. You could do them in a variety of different sizes. Heck, you could even like make them really a lot smaller and use them for like a cake topper or on top of cupcakes, anything like that. There's a lot of different ways that you could make these, and I think that they're all really fun. I think the key for me anyway that makes it look like the traditional kind of old school pennant flags is making sure that your font is like big and then goes smaller. I have seen some and they're still really cute where they just use like one image here in the middle, and that's really cute and that's fun, but I really love the look that you get when you use like the big letters and then it goes smaller as you go. So those are just a few tips that I have. I did use just a hot glue gun, really simple. You could also use like a fabric tack or something like that if you needed to. The other supplies I needed is I used a weeding tool to weed the iron on. I used skewers. You could also use like small little dowels. There's other things that you could use, but I just use skewers. It's like $3 for 100 of them, really inexpensive. A pair of scissors. It really didn't take a lot of supplies. And then again, like I said, it was less than one 12 by 12 sheet for a black felt and one 12 by 12 sheet of red felt to make both of these. And then a 12 by 12 piece of white iron-on. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments. I'm happy to answer those for you. If you enjoyed this video, you found it helpful, I'd love for you to give me a thumbs up and to follow along. Subscribe here to our channel. We'll be back again next week sharing another project from start to finish. Have a wonderful day. Bye.